Hey there, sports history fan. This is Arnie Chapman, host of the Football History Dude podcast, right here on the Sports History Network. Now, before we jump into another sports history adventure, let me tell you about this episode's sponsor. We partnered with Rochester Sports Autographs, the largest JSA authenticated autograph distributor in the United States, where you can get deals on over 30,000 autographed sports collectibles. They even have film, music, and other entertainment autographs on the site, so there's something for everyone. Perhaps you're looking for a gift for Mother's Day, or maybe Father's Day. Heck, who needs a holiday as an excuse to give a piece of sports history to your loved ones? Or how about yourself? Today seems like a great day to add to your sports cave, right? But how is RSA able to offer such great deals on JSA authentication, you ask? Well, they do this by making deals directly with athletes, so there are no extra markups, and they choose to pass these savings on to the customer. All orders from Rochester Sports Autographs are top quality and shipped to your door with top authentication and money-back guarantee. And to make sure RSA knows that the Sports History Network sent you, we created a special link for you. All you have to do is head to shoprsa.com/SHN. Again, that's shoprsa.com/SHN. Head over there to get your piece of sports history today. This podcast is part of the Sports History Network, your headquarters for the yesteryear of your favorite sport. You can learn more at sportshistorynetwork.com.
Hello, sports fans, and welcome to another edition of Yesterday's Sports on the Sports History Network. Today we're going to discuss the very first World's Strongest Man competition. Mostly everyone, whether a fan of strength sports or not, has seen some footage of the World's Strongest Man competition. It's truly mind-boggling how powerful these competitors are. But many people don't know that the first competition goes back to 1977, and it bared little resemblance to today's organized and well-planned-out event. The 1977 competition had only 8 contestants, and they could have named it America's Strongest Man, given that 7 of the competitors were American. No one seems to know why they chose the 8 men they did, other than the fact that most were relatively well-known and quite strong. The 3-day event took place at Universal Studios in California, and it was televised on CBS Sports Spectacular. So let's take a look at the competitors. The smallest of the competitors and the only non-American was the 34-year-old, 5'5", 182-pound Franco Colombo from Italy. Colombo was a bodybuilder who won the Mr. Universe contest in 1971 and Mr. Olympia in 1977 and again in 1981. Despite his small size, Franco was perhaps pound for pound the strongest bodybuilder in the world. He is said to have deadlifted as much as 750 pounds, bench pressed 520 pounds, and routinely blew up hot water bottles until they exploded. The 26-year-old Lou Ferrigno was also a bodybuilder, but unlike Colombo, Ferrigno did not lack size, standing 6'5" and weighing 278 pounds. Big Lou won the Mr. Universe title in 1973 and in 1974, and he placed second at Mr. Olympia in 1974. Ferrigno became well known for his role as the Incredible Hulk in the popular 1970s television series. The 200-pound, 29-year-old Mike Dayton was Mr. Teenage America in 1967 and became a Kung Fu master of Chi in 1976. Dayton was also a stuntman and did incredible feats of strength, such as tearing license plates and nickels in half and breaking out of handcuffs. Next on the list is 36-year-old hammer thrower George Friend. Friend won a bronze medal at the 1967 Pan American Games and a silver medal at the 1971 Pan American Games. He broke the indoor world record in 1972 and qualified for the Olympics, but had a disappointing performance. Friend also competed in powerlifting in the 110 kilo, 242 pound weight class. Bob Young was a 35-year-old offensive guard who weighed in at 284 pounds. Young played in the NFL for 16 years in 4 different teams. Played in the Pro Bowl in 1978 and again in 1979, and made first-team All-Pro in 1979 as a St. Louis Cardinal. Bob was the older brother of 3-time world powerlifting champion Doug Young, and he used weightlifting to help him become one of the strongest men in the NFL. 34-year-old John Cole was a 3-time AAU National Powerlifting Champion, winning gold in 1968, 1970, and 1972. Cole was the first man to squat 900 pounds. The 256-pound Cole also competed a few times in Olympic weightlifting. John clean and jerked 430 pounds and snatched 342 pounds. Ken Patera, 34 years old, was a 4-time national champion in the super heavyweight division and was the first American weightlifter to clean and jerk 500 pounds. He won a silver medal at the 1971 World Championships. Big Ken represented the USA at the 1972 Olympics, but had a disappointing result, although he did place 3rd in the clean and press. After the Olympics, Patera entered the world of professional wrestling and performed many amazing feats of strength. Patera weighed in at 286 pounds, down from the usually 320 pounds he weighed as an Olympic weightlifter. Bruce Wilhelm was the national weightlifting champion in the super heavyweight division in 1975 and 1976, and was voted as America's best weightlifter in 1977. Bruce also placed 5th at the 1976 Olympics. The 326-pound, 31-year-old Wilhelm was a former shot putter, and he was the first American lifter to snatch 400 pounds. I should note that Patera also was a former shot putter. And it's interesting to note that the only two of the 8 competitors were under the age of 30. Ferrigno was the youngest at 26. George Friend was the oldest at 36. So now we go to the events. It was a 3-day event, and on day 1, we have the barrel lift. Bruce Wilhelm emerged as the victor in this event, while Young, Patera, Colombo, and Friend all tied for 2nd place. Next, we go to the steel bar bend. The bodybuilders did well in this event, as Lou Ferrigno took 1st place and Franco Colombo won 2nd. Powerlifter John Cole took 3rd. Next, we go to the wrist roll. This was another event the bodybuilders did well in. Mike Dayton won 1st place, while Franco Colombo and Lou Ferrigno tied for 2nd. Ken Patera took 3rd place. Dayton paid the price for his victory and his refusal to wear gloves as he tore the skin off his hands, which hampered him for the remaining events. On day 2, we have the wheelbarrow race. The Olympic weightlifters did well in this, as Bruce Wilhelm and Patera won first and second, respectively. John Cole took third place. Next, we go to the tire toss. Ken Patera was the surprise winner, while the favorite, George Friend, placed second. Bob Young won third place. Now we have the tram pole. The gross weight of the tram was 6,000 pounds. Wilhelm won this event, his third first-place finish. Bob Young took second, while Patera came in third. Next we go to the car lift. Powerlifters John Cole and George Friend were the favorites, since the car lift was very similar to the deadlift. But Friend tore a bicep and had to withdraw from the competition. Cole took second place, as Lou Ferrigno was the surprise winner. Now we go to day 3. We have the girl lift, which was the squat. John Cole was expected to win this event, since the squat is one of the lifts powerlifters do in competition. But he only managed a second-place tie with Franco Colombo. Bob Young made his brother Doug proud by winning first place. Bruce Wilhelm took third place. Next we have the refrigerator race. Wilhelm won his fourth first-place finish. Mike Dayton finished second, and Bob Young finished third. Franco Colombo was at a disadvantage in this event because of his short legs, and he tried to make up for it by running with the refrigerator. It turned out to be a costly decision, as Franco's legs snapped under the pressure, and he was out of the competition and required some major surgery. The final event was the tug of war. Only the top 4 contestants took part in this event. Bob Young squared off against Lou Ferrigno, and Bruce Wilhelm went up against Ken Patera. Ferrigno and Patera were eliminated, and it came down to Young versus Wilhelm. Wilhelm emerged victorious, winning his 5th event and the overall competition. Now we'll look at the final results. In first place, by a rather wide margin, was Bruce Wilhelm with 63 1/4 points. Second place went to Bob Young, who had 43 1/4 points. Third place went to Ken Patera, 34 points. Fourth place, Lou Ferrigno, 27 1/2 points. Fifth place, Franco Colombo, 23 1/4 points. Sixth place, John Cole, 21 1/2 points. Seventh place went to Mike Dayton, 19 1/4 points. And in eighth place was George Friend with 10 points. Well, that concludes our podcast for today. I hope you enjoyed it. God bless. Take care.
This podcast is part of the Sports History Network, your headquarters for the yesteryear of your favorite sport. You can learn more at sportshistorynetwork.com. Hey there, sports history fan. This is Arnie Chapman, aka the Football History Dude, and I hope that you enjoyed this recent episode presented by the Sports History Network and were able to learn some good old-fashioned sports history knowledge nuggets. I started the Sports History Network back in 2020 with the mission to help podcasters find a community of like-minded sports history nerds, as well as helping aspiring podcasters to start their own shows. We have a little bit over 30 shows on the network right now covering all sorts of sports history, but as far as I'm concerned, we're just at the toothpick in the ocean moment, that can't even figure it out because there's so much more coming. We wanted to create the ultimate headquarters for sports yesteryear, starting with Podcast Network and our website, but we're going to continue to move into other mediums as well. And here's the cool part, because we want you to be part of our team. So if you're interested in starting your own podcast, or maybe being a guest on one of our shows, or who knows, maybe even writing an article for us over on the website, seriously, all you gotta do is reach out to us on the contact page over at sportshistorynetwork.com. You can be as technologically savvy as a Neanderthal tapping on a stone trying to figure out this whole hieroglyphics thing back in the day. Again, it doesn't matter, because even if you don't understand the whole podcast space, we have a production team that can pretty much help you out with doing everything. All you gotta do, head over to sportshistorynetwork.com, head to the contact page, fill it out. That message goes right to me, and I'll reach out to you as soon as I can. But for now, dude, I'm through if you're through.